The question a lot of people are asking tonight, what can we do to make our schools safe anywhere, everywhere? Canady is the Executive Director of the National Association of School Resource Officers. Mo, thanks a lot for joining us. What's a school resource officer?
Well, a school resource officer, by federal definition, is a sworn certified law enforcement officer who works in community-based policing in a school environment, and it's a collaborative effort between the school district and the law enforcement agency.
The school resource officer has a gun?
Yes, they should be armed. They're a sworn law enforcement officer.
Okay, and their responsibilities in a situation like this when you have a shooting.
Let me start with this. First of all, their number one goal is to bridge the gap between law enforcement and youth. In other words, build relationships. So the responsibility on the front end of this is to be able to gather information and intelligence and hopefully to be able to head something like this off. Now, when the situation occurs, they've got to be prepared to respond, and the ones who are trained well certainly respond. They should respond to the sound of gunfire and do everything within their power tactically to end the shooting.
Okay, are you able to talk about how there was a school resource officer at this school, right?
I'm understanding that there was, still trying to find out a little more information about that. The particular district has not trained through us, so we did not train this SRO.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything to date that says he confronted this gunman or they ever ran into one another.
I have not either, no sir.
Yeah. What can we do to prevent this sort of thing, or at least lessening the possibilities, the chances of this sort of thing happening?
Well, one of the things to look at for certain in the history of these school shootings, rarely have they happened where there has been a school resource officer. And again, we go back to my definition of an SRO. It's not just an armed security guard. It's not just an armed guard, as we hear about sometimes. It's a specially trained law enforcement officer.
I like that. You've got evidence that shows that school resource officers prevent this sort of thing from happening.
Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, we did a very significant report just a few years ago called To Protect and Educate. It's available as a free download on our website at nasro.org.
Yeah, do these schools that have school resource officers also have the electronic stuff, you know, the metal detectors and that sort of thing?
Yeah, you know, what's interesting is some schools do that and some don't. And obviously we want to try to keep schools from looking like a prison, right? So we try not to have to go that far.
Right.
Sometimes we do get to that point, but in most cases we don't have to.
Okay. What else can we do to make our schools safe?
Well,
should we add school resource officers, maybe more than one?
Yes, sir. I think we absolutely should. And, you know, one of the things that I hear about that is, well, funding is an issue. But last night I was hearing some folks talk about adding retired military, retired police officers, or even teachers being armed. If we can fund that, then I think we could fund professional law enforcement officers, again, properly trained to work in a school environment. It's not for everyone.
I'm just speaking for myself. It sounds almost ridiculous to be, you know, considering funding. We can't afford this given what we just saw on Valentine's Day and all the other shootings that have taken place.
You know, Bruce, one of the things that our organization has realized for a long time is that every community is going to figure out a way to fund what's important to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Thank you very much. I really appreciate this time.
Thank you.
Any other thoughts? Are there grants? I mean, where can we get, you know, in these jurisdictions where they don't have the money? Are there federal grants you can apply for to get school resource officers? You know, a lot of people argue that you need this kind of protection also in places of worship and a lot of other places,
yes, sir.
soft targets.
I was actually in a meeting at the Department of Justice today where these grant opportunities were discussed, and I'm pleased to say it looks like there are going to be some good grant opportunities for a number of different things around school safety, and so that's really good news.
If you get that information, share it with us. We'll put it out there, you know, on social media, on our web,
I certainly
Facebook
will.
page. Okay, thank you. Really great
yes,
talking
sir.
to you.
Thank you.
Right.